You did a yoga and a
Struggling.
run before. What'd you do? A yoga? I mean, I went to the gym uh,
Hmm.
before. You did. Why you do yoga and a run? Don't those things work
Cause I'm
against each
trying.
other?
Do they? I figure like two a day. You run and then you do yoga after you run and you stretch. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to get that summer body right. You know, it's a lot of good food out here in
Okay.
Atlanta. Yeah, yeah. Be
I'm trying.
dedicated. A
I'm
lot
trying
of
to get my
lemon pepper
summer body
wings.
together also.
So I was like, this is the year I want to actually be skinny.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give that a shot too. I can't remember the last year I was skinny, but I'm gonna work on it.
It was
20, I
maybe
think I was skinny in
2017,
2005, 2006. I was
2005.
skinny.
Good year. Good
Yeah.
year. But yes, oh, I do want to start out today. I wanted to introduce a new segment. We are in the room where culture meets Hollywood, and we want to start off with the dailies today. So you know dailies in film is you review what you
Yeah.
see working every day and whatever. But for us, it's like
Right.
let's review what hit the timeline this week. So fresh off the timeline, these are the dailies. So did you hear about Michael B. Jordan? Apparently
Yeah, I
there's
heard about
a
Michael B. Jordan.
yes, the
It's the
remake of Miami
best thing that happened
Vice.
since Ryan Coogler said, "Give me my stuff back."
Yes, give me my thing.
This is a good. Yeah. This is a good move. I think.
So the remake of the Miami Vice is reportedly now in doubt as Michael B. Jordan is asking for 18 million after winning the Oscar. He was previously in line for 5 million. So we have some from the timeline. Kid and Kuro says Brad Pitt commands 20 million per movie, so give him his 18 million. Baruka Knight says yesterday's price is not today's price, and I agree. And Sam and Roby said his agent missed the mark by not asking for 25 million. So, I mean, I love this. To me, I do think that, yes, you have won an Oscar now. You're a best actor. You should demand
Right.
more.
Well, I
Anyone
mean, but
else
that's
that
the
was your
conversation.
counterpart would.
That's the conversation we was having weeks ago. Like when you win the Oscar, like what does it do for your career? Well, one of the
Exactly.
things is that it should give you the right to say, I'm worth this. I'm the best guy.
Right.
I'm the best. I actually in the Brad Pitt of it all, the other guy that y'all think is the best guy was in a movie, and my movie was better than his movie. So shouldn't I get what the
Right.
winner gets?
And if this was Timothy Chalamet and he was going and asking for 18 million, there would be no in doubt. The part I don't like about this is why is the movie in doubt all of a sudden? Now I understand how budgets work. I don't know if they've already set up this budget, had him in line for 5 million, figured out what the whole movie was going to cost, and now he's come back with this 18 million, and now all of a sudden we have to figure out what we got to pull from whatever other top of the line budget to make sure that he can still be a part of this movie. But I also do believe that if this was a Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Timothy Chalamet, even y'all would not be questioning whether or not he could still be a part of this movie.
Okay, well, first of all, when you talk about budget, the first thing you have to take into consideration is whatever the amount of money is that they're complaining about, they're perfectly willing to spend on something that they
On
believe in,
something
right? Yeah,
else.
I mean, it's like I
Mm-hmm.
don't I don't know what the last Avatar cost, but I know it was a lot. And I know that they probably agreed to it when James Cameron woke up one day and said, "What if I did another one?" Yes, 400 million. What would you? Where do we? When do we start? Did you see? Did you watch the studio? Did
Yeah.
you watch that?
The show?
Yeah, yeah. So like in the season, they haven't done a season two, right? It's just been season one, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So in the season one, the studio, they had the storyline with Martin Scorsese making a Kool-Aid movie or something, right? And it's like before a script, just the idea. They're just talking about it, like $200 million. $200 million for I think this ought to be pretty big. And all I know is so there's twofold. One, when they've already kind of determined what their upside is, and it's kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
runaway train, they green light the fuck out of everything. But here's number two, and this is the most important part. Brad Pitt and Michael B. Jordan at this respective point in their careers, right? Late 30s, right around 40, some significant box office and some significant high profile movies behind you. They have a different trajectory, but at this point, Michael B. Jordan has been in one of the biggest grossing Marvel movies of all time. right? He was in the biggest grossing, Oscar winning picture of last year, right? He's the
Mhm.
best actor. He's been working since he was 14, right?
Mhm.
He's headlined another franchise with Creed, three of those movies. He's a writer, he's a director, right? All of these things. And they're going, it's 18. I don't know. Yeah, but that didn't stop y'all from paying Scarlett Johansson 20 for Black Widow. And I'm not saying
Listen,
that she doesn't deserve it, but here's the most important part. When Brad Pitt reached this part of his career where he was getting close to the $20 million mark, around 30 in
mhm,
1999, around 2000, that
mhm,
$20 million today is closer to like 50,
mhm.
right?
Wow.
And Michael B. Jordan's 18 million today is closer to like 10. So what I'm saying is that they're complaining about Michael B. Jordan getting this payday or wanting this payday and comparing it to Brad Pitt, when in fact, economically speaking, it's half of what Brad Pitt was getting paid when he was getting paid 18 million.
Yeah, and
This is
that's the
closer to
people
like
on the
9.
timeline that are comparing it to Brad Pitt because they're saying that that's what he commands or what have you. Now, we will see if this movie will go forward, but to me, I'm like, take whatever million you need to out of whatever car chase you have pre-planned out in your budget and go on and give it to Michael B. Jordan because him being in your movie is going to make your movie better, period, point blank. What else is on the timeline? We got Issa Rae returning to where it
Yeah.
all began. YouTube with a new series called Picture This is hosted by Jonica Booth. Interview style is like a Pictionary inspired game, and it has this creative twist of storytelling. So the guest is tasked with pitching show ideas based off moments from their real life, which is super cute. It's a mix of improv, writer's room chaos, and personal storytelling all colliding. Trailer just dropped. We see Megan Good in this, Lil Rel in this, the Kid Miro were all in the trailer. Celia Mills, as it says, as a young filmmaker, seeing a big name like Issa Rae return back to YouTube, is that a sign for us to stop chasing these streaming platforms? And we talked about this. We talked about still going after it, but using these mediums that are available to you as opposed to waiting for this door to open to whatever network, building your own audience, using it as leverage. We've seen it work before. We've seen it work for Issa. So, of course, I understand going back to your roots. Why would you not?
Is that what the people that is that what they're doing? Are they, trying to get their IP, their YouTube, their TikTok? Is that what they're doing?
I don't think it's their first choice, but they're doing it because what else are you doing? You're going to just sit on your idea. You're going to put it out there where you put it out there, and you're going to hope it connects to something else later. We'll talk in a second about like how some of these creators online still are getting their pathway to the networks. But to me, I do think that that's the smartest way to go. Whether you pitch it later down the line or not, you building your audience so you have some sort of leverage when you come in the room in the first place.
Well, I mean, you're talking about a couple of different things here, and I think that I think that the emerging talent, need to maybe look at it in this way. Issa's got, she's got side hustles, right? So she's Issa Rae, and that's worth something. Like, there are people probably actively campaigning to get her in their movie or their show or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So she's probably fielding those offers, right? She's a writer, so she probably has something that she's working on that she'd like to do. That's another lane. She's got a first look or whatever this situation is. She has a Paramount now, so that's a
Mm-hmm.
pipeline for people who are at at game level, right? To come in and pitch and try and create something. And now it's just YouTube thing. And that's kind of like incubator. And what that's doing is kind of twofold. And the creators at this point have to kind of think about, where their best efforts should be devoted. Because, and this is not a knock, but this is a great platform for Issa because basically it's America's Got Writers, right? People sitting around trying to come up with ideas, and whoever comes up with a great idea, maybe it turns into a show, maybe it turns into a
Well, I
property,
don't know if it's
maybe it
that the
doesn't.
show. I don't know if that's the show. I think that's a cute show as well. But from the trailer, it does look like it's celebrity based. I don't see regular people in the trailer, so it looks like it's
Mhm.
your favorite celebrities coming and sort of like on the Hollywood squares of it all, they're telling like, a fun story about their lives, and they're pitching it as a TV show. So I don't know if it's segued off into like your everyday person where it's actually like a hungry writer that's pitching you a show. No, it's Lil Rel telling you about a time that he choked on a chicken wing or something like that, and turning that into a comedy, and we're all laughing about it. That's what it seems like.
So here,
based off the
so
trailer.
is it just the celebrities telling their
That's
stories?
all I saw in the trailer.
Because, and I'm not 100% sure, and if it's something different, I'd love to know. Because what it sounded like is there are going to be writers and creators who are taking these ideas and trying to see if there's some way that they can level them up or scale them into something that can end up in the higher distribution production landscape.
I don't think
Like
that's not what it is.
then
No. It's a game show. It's an interview
yeah.
style game show. It's not a
But what's the
find
point?
America's next top writer.
Dictionary
What's the
writers running
point?
chaos with guests like Megan. It's still major first, but this is R&D pipeline.
So they respond to prompts ranging from character development to unexpected plot twists, and their stories are brought to life through sketches that evolve in real time. You know what I mean? So
here's
and
my
then
question
they get
though.
green light or pass.
And when they're doing this material on the show, what do they do with it after?
You asking me like I wrote the show?
But no. I mean, like you looked it up because here's what I'm saying. It's like, and I really am. And I'm trying.
They
to
don't do
understand
nothing with it
because-
after. It's I mean, we have to call Issa and ask her. I don't know if they do anything with it after or not. It's just
Well, and this is why I say it's like America's Got Writers. Because even though it's celebrities, what you ostensibly create is a pipeline of entertainment based around something that's low cost input and high return. And there's a possibility that if one of these ideas or something turns into another thing, it could be something beyond what the show is.
maybe this is a way for her to get ideas so she can have ideas coming in. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm like, if you going out and you be in front and you creating and this becomes a pipeline, what becomes important is that everybody that's coming in is just feeding what that platform is.
But
if they come up with something, I just wonder if they could scale it.
It sounds like we're talking about two different shows. This show, to me, if I'm pitching it in the room, sounds more like what's that improv show that Drew Carey used to
Jane
host
Lynch or whatever.
No, that sounds way older than me. It's the one where they oh my gosh, Wayne Brady used to be on it all the time. It was four guys, and they would get prompts. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
No, you don't.
I forget the name of it. No, I do. It's Aisha.
Aisha. No, she had. Was I? Whose line is it anyway? That's the show.
Aisha. Aisha
okay.
Tyler.
Sure. So whose line is it anyway? They would get a prompt.
Why
they had
you
the
say
improv
sure?
stuff because I don't remember her being on that show. But like I might have not caught every episode, right? I know Wayne Brady was on. I know Drew Carey hosted it, right? And then you would have your four comedians, and they would get a prompt and they would do improv. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're going to have your four celebrities. They're going to get a prompt. They're going to write a story. They're going to have to shift the story midway. It doesn't sound like this is going to incubate it for writers. So I think that's another show. Maybe somebody can go and take that and do that. I don't think that's what this show is.
Well, I don't know.
We'll see when it comes on.
I don't know if this conversation is ready for prime time because I'm not clear exactly what they're doing. It sounds like one thing to me, and maybe I got it wrong. That'll be interesting.
Well, you watch the trailer. Have you watched the trailer? Watch the trailer, and then we'll circle back on that. But speaking of, it's like you've gone on a tangent. I don't even know what you're talking about. But speaking of incubator,
I'm spinning plates out here. I'm doing just like what's this called? It sounded like one thing, and then I looked it up. But
that's a good show too. Like America's Next Best Writer. Like somebody take that picture, go on and do something with that. But speaking of creatives and the pipeline of development, Tubi has linked with TikTok. Tubi inks a creative development deal with TikTok to select a cohort of creators, giving them a pathway to develop larger form content. So Tubi is going to act as that bridge. So we keep talking about go on, TikTok or all these other, sources. Well, TikTok in particular with this one, and create your own vertical content. And now you have Tubi acting as a bridge of Hollywood to Hollywood for these creators that are making authentic creative content that can extend to long form, right? So that's pretty positive because you can go ahead and like if you're on TikTok, you got an audience, your content can transform to something long term. It is possible that you can end up on Tubi. You know, Tubi is trying to emerge into, you know, something different than what it's been. We know it's moving to the Fox lot. We know things are, or the FX lot was it? We know things are getting a little bit more high level over there with the content, you know. So I'll be very interested to see what type of content they pull from this TikTok incubator that they got
Well,
going on.
if there's a lot of people out there and they're online, they're doing a lot of things, and some of them are more talented than others. Some of them have good ideas, and they're not quite sure how to turn it into whatever the thing is. All of these, all of these fresh sort of online portals like the TikTok, the Tubi and TikTok creator, it's like the value that's in the creators now is that's why they're trying to scoop them up, right?
Yeah.
Because things have gotten so top heavy that if you're not one of the writers, producers, showrunners, and you've got a 9-figure deal, to try and create something, and they've poured all their money into that, they've scooped out most of the middle section of professional writers, creators, and development seasons. And it's kind of like R&D, research and development. When you had writers and writers rooms learning how to write shows, interacting with actors and executives and platforms and studios, and kind of being brought through the pipeline so that you understand how to work within it, how to service it, and also how it can serve you. A lot of that has been obliterated. So now, like I say, you got people writing $100 million check to do something because a guy wrote something on a sheet of paper and say, "What do you think about this?" They're like, "Great. When do we start?" Like, I don't know. As soon as I get the script. When's that going to be? A few years, right? And so there's that, and then there's scrambling. Everybody's running around with a phone, pointing it at themselves. But those people, bring into this TikTok creator pipeline. I think that's great, and at the same time, it's it might not necessarily be the most beneficial because they're asking you up front to, before you figure this out, why don't we get in bed with you so that when you figure out, if you figure it out, we'll already have our hooks in. There is a risk in going, nah, that's okay, I'm gonna stay over here and do it by myself and see what I can get, because if it works out for me and it becomes valuable, you're gonna be back anyway. But if I come into your building and I start working on it and you don't necessarily like what I do, you're just going to divert your attention elsewhere.
Yeah, and
That's
I
what
don't
happens
know if
like in
that's exactly how it works either, because I'm assuming they're only going to be reaching out to people that have an established audience, not your up and coming. You have an established thing that is already popular, right? So it's going to stay popular. I don't know if they have a situation where now they license it. I don't know all those details, right? But if you still own what you have online, then what is the harm in also trying
well,
to develop it into something longer form with Tubi? Do you know what I mean?
nothing. However, and I've said this before. It's like the thing with Prince, where he used to say, and this is I'm paraphrasing the idea, but he's going, if I sign a $10 million contract with Warner Brothers, I got to sell 100 million albums to make that 10 million, right? Because I only get 10 cents on the dollar. But if I record the album in my house and just sell it to the people that already like me, then I only have to sell 1 million of those to get to 10 million. If I sell them for $10, right? So in the TikTok Tubi creator part of it, they're still doing the same thing. They're scooping up people who are viable. They're scooping up people who have some reach. But that's what entertainment does. It takes what you're doing and it blows it up. But in the
Mm-hmm.
event that it does not blow up, and I'm just saying to be cautious, and I'm not being critical of an opportunity, in the event that it blows up, where is your leverage? They had people that used to sign like at Disney, like these 360 deals and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot of interest in attempting to control the thing now that is going to be the most valuable, which is IP and brand. Who's the person that you're selling, and what's the thing that they're selling, and who likes them, and can you market that to a third entity, with your big machine. So just for young
Yeah.
creators, just like be
So, so, so-
cautious,
yeah, so
because
and
it
I
can
get
feel like a
that.
great opportunity. Yeah.
Well, so let's get into the details of it. So, I mean, they obviously they want comedians, comedies, dramas, and reality documentary formats. They're going to premiere exclusively on Tubi. And creators will have significant creative control over their projects while receiving support from Tubi for like production and development. And TikTok will assist in identifying and choosing the initial cohort of creators for the program. So that's based off, who's doing really well right now on TikTok. This cohort is going to be announced this summer. And TikTok's going to be spotlighting, to drive traffic and engagement and things like that. So I think the catch all is your long form content, whatever is developed through Tubi, obviously is only going to be able to be on Tubi. So it's not, you can't develop it in this cohort and then go and sell it to Netflix or something like that. So there's a
Yeah.
limitation there where you
Well,
might have had a
and
little
just
bit more
hold on, pause on
freedom.
that for a second, though. But that's important because, again, just the idea, Tubi has very specific ideas as an entity about what they think is going to be funny about you to whoever they think your audience slash is and also is supposed to be. And so a lot of times when artists, and I've been in this, you get into these, you get into a big deal, overall deal, something else, and they're excited by your talent because you may have done a thing that worked out for them, but the other ideas that you have and the other things that you want to do may or may not necessarily be the best fit for what the company wants to do with where they're headed. So again, it's not to be critical of an opportunity, but it is about being cautious in terms of how you see yourself and where you think is the best place for you to grow as an artist, because that's a way in. But if then you start pitching ideas and they like, nah, nah, nah,
Yeah,
nah,
but that's
we
not
think it
how,
should
I
be
don't think
this, we
that's
think it
how it
should be
works
that.
either. They pick who they want from TikTok. So I'm pretty sure Tubi is looking at what on TikTok
No,
they
and
feel
this
is
is what
going
I'm
to
telling you.
work.
And this is what I'm saying. I'm telling you they cast a wide net, right? They absolutely cast a wide net. They're picking people who have come to their attention, but in
Yeah.
terms of the level of investigation they've actually done into what this person does and what they say they want to do, you're saying, "Hey, you want to come be at Tubi?" And you're young, you're excited, you're a creator. You're like, "Oh man, great! I can get off the internet." But at the same time, it is, what do you want to do once you get over here? And people are going to be, it happened last, which girl that directed, come on, it's Chloe
Pop the
Zhao in the
balloon.
movie.
Oh,
No, no,
what you
no,
talking
no,
about?
no. Chloe Zhao in the movie that she directed, or the TV show that she directed, and didn't nobody like it,
Yeah. Yeah, but
right?
how is that the
Come on.
same though? Because that's not a
Well,
going from
here's
social
here's how
media to
it's the
something
same.
else.
It's the same because they're looking at something shiny. You're a shiny creator with a lot of attention and a sensibility, and they go, yeah, 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 yeah. And then you say to them, I want to do a version of this show, or I want to do this idea that expresses this or explores that or is funny in this way. And they go, yeah, 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 yeah. Then you do it and you show it to them, and they go, what's this? You go, this is
Yeah,
my
and
Buffy the
Chloe
Vampire
Zhao has a
Slayer.
very distinct directorial style, which you can see from any of it. It's very slow. So if you thought
Right,
that was going to work on your TV show, then that's silly. Like to me, that
right.
is common sense. With this, however, TikTok is going to be picking, and they're probably going to be picking based off engagement, based off interactions, and everything like that. And that's all they're going to be. That's the information they're going to give them. Oh, this person has this many views. This is how many people interact with it, whatever. And they're going to probably take that and put that person in the cohort. Now, whether that content can translate to long form will be determined during that cohort. I doubt we're going, we may see some fails, we may see some misses. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm pretty sure, as far as if I was the creator that was being picked, my main concern is what happens to my content on my bread and butter that was already on TikTok doing well as short form. Do you own it now? Like those would be the questions that
Well,
I would have.
here, so it's twofold. So again, in bringing these creators that have risen up to some level of notoriety, again, and I hate to be, I I really do, and I'm not cynical about it, but I'm being pragmatic. It is important for the creator to put as much time looking at the platform and what they have typically done. And even when you get in a room with these people, asking them, have you looked at my stuff? Do you like me for these reasons? Here's what I want to do. Here's where I'm going. Because with a Chloe Zhao doing Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I'm sure that she did not bullshit these people about what she intended to do. And I guess on the strength of her words, she was able to get the actress to come back and be in the piece, and they thought it was great. Then she did what she told them she was going to do, and they went, "What the fuck is this?" That's what I said. And suddenly they don't know where this came from or how this happened. Y'all picked me. I told you what I was going to do. I did it. And now you're shocked. And so I'm just saying to young creators, even when they have these platforms, the other thing that may occur is that they may start asking, well, can we purchase this catalog, or can we license your catalog to run in conjunction on our Tubi TikTok creator fast channel, which is now just going to be 24 hours of TikTok clips that they run ads around, and they're going to purchase your catalog for an amount of money. So you should also be doing analytics on your catalog or on the output of your channel to go, how long have I been up? How many pieces do I have? How much runtime would that be on a platform? So it's just when you start looking at ways to monetize what you're doing, to license your IP, and also to really be diligent around as much as you can. Take the opportunities, go in with good faith, do the best work you can do, ask all the questions you can think of, but protect your property, because it's not unlike the record kids, and I'm calling them kids, but so many young artists, and you've heard, they go into these deals and then they're not the most important one, and somebody else, they sat on the label. Kesha says she sat on the label for 4 years because they was holding her shit back because they didn't want her to do something like those sorts of things. So when they're bringing in a lot of people, it looks good for them, because it's like, look, we're engaging creators. But if you're the 10th down on that list, like, they're kind of not fucking with you. They got you
Yeah,
under
it'd be
contract, and
interesting to
if you come up with
see.
something, so yeah, it's just like for
It'll
yourself,
be interesting to see who they pick.
yeah, to
You
be able to
know,
explore and make the best opportunity for yourself, and to be able to really learn how to analyze these opportunities and see if they fit you.
yeah, because there's a lot of varied content on TikTok, and I mean, at the moment, nothing comes to mind to me that I'm like, oh yeah, I could see that being a
Well,
TV
who, who's
show.
who's your favorite? Who you like on TikTok? I
I'm a
listen.
very
I watch
Italian,
way
so I don't
more
have a
TikTok.
favorite.
I've been
I don't
watching
have a favorite.
way too much TikTok.
Well, so
I
I feel
just
like
scroll.
we watch different types of things on TikTok.
Oh no,
Like
well, I'm sure we do. What was the first TikTok creator that got your attention that you
I
can
don't
remember?
have like a, I don't know, like I don't have one that I just go back. Well, okay, so who I think would get a show? What's the one that does the cooking and the pretty dresses all the time? Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
Name something with an N. Nika, Name,
Yes.
Nay.
No, it's definitely
There's
not
there's a
name.
girl. No, there's a little black girl. I'm calling her a little black girl. She's probably a whole grown woman, but I'm old.
Nara. Yeah,
Nara.
I could see her doing a cooking show in
She's the
long
light skinned
form.
girl that does
Yeah,
everything like
they'll
real
reach. Yeah,
weird.
I can see them reaching out to a Nara Smith, and she's in a beautiful
Right,
dress, and she's doing a long form
right,
cooking show.
right,
Like that's something that,
right.
like stuff like that. Like they have a lot. I watch a lot of DIY shows on there. Your home renovation, interior design. I can see all of that easily
Oh, we
turning
see
into
entirely
like
different
long
stuff. I
form.
saw I saw a little Nara, and then the other girl that got in trouble, cooking with Kaya. I saw that. She made
I don't
everybody
know if
mad.
Cooking with Kaya is gonna get a
Oh, you
right.
missing everything. I see
Maybe
all the good
I
stuff.
know Cooking with
Uh,
Kaya. Yeah, I'm sure you see Cooking with Kaya. I'm sure you do.
right and there was I seen some cooking stuff. There's another cooking guy. Um, there's another cooking guy.
Yeah,
What's
the
this guy's
cooking
name?
stuff I could see easily getting even the
Chef
guy that just
Reactions. You ever seen? You
they
ever seen
no, I
Chef
haven't seen him, but
Reactions?
the guy that no, but the guy that just
It's a
got
white guy,
divorced.
and he looks at people cooking their food, and then and then he critiques it. He gives it a score of 1 out of 10.
I mean, maybe. I mean, what's the guy Desmond that just the one that just got divorced from the other really popular oh, I'm so
Somebody got
bad with
divorced. Who?
name. Christy, Desmond and Christy. They were a really popular TikTok couple.
Yeah.
and he's a chef. I could
Oh
see them
boy.
going out and getting for him because he is a chef and stuff like that. I can see there's people that do styling. I could see one of those styling shows, like anything
I
that
see
would
that
have been a
there's a
reality
tall,
show.
skinny black
I could
guy.
see that.
You seen that tall, skinny black guy that does styles? I don't know, he's like a guy, and they'll be like,
He's the one that
do
goes
an
into your
outfit.
closet and tells you what you got in your closet.
No,
Because I like that
no.
guy.
This is another dude. This is a tall, thin black dude. He be wearing space boots and stuff, and he'd be like,
Oh,
they'd be like,
Wisdom.
style. Is that his
Wisdom,
name?
yeah.
Yeah,
his
they'd be
name's
like,
Wisdom.
style a box of Cheerios, and then he'll put
Yes.
some Cheerios on.
Yeah, I mean, could you
I
see
like
that as
him.
a long form show? Could you see that?
It doesn't have. That's what I'm saying, though. Yes, it could be because people like fashion and style, so that's always fun. And clearly the guy is as good at what he does. So in the what was that? What the five guys? Five gay guys get you tight. Whatever. What's that
Yes.
called?
Okay. Yeah. Queer
Where they
eye.
get your style going. Yeah. Queer eye for the
Yes.
straight guy. Right. I'm not saying that he's gay. I don't know, but it'd be like
No.
whatever.
Here. Okay. If I was pitching for Wisdom, right? I'm
Okay.
talking like a Project Runway, but for styling type show where we have different categories. Like today, we're doing the solar system, very very American Next Top Model esque, where you have all these interior designers. He's the host and the main judge, and they have to style, and he's the one that is that's the show. Boom, somebody sell that.
Hey! If you should race to Tubi right now with that.
Let me go ahead and I'm a DM Wisdom and give him the idea. Like Tubi's
I'm gonna hold down
hit
the
you up.
pod.
I need a credit.
I know. I'm gonna hold down the podcast. Get in there and pitch that show real
No,
quick.
but listen, now I'm like looking through my TikTok because I have so many. But there's a lot of shows that I could easily see transform. Anybody I watch that like does their DIY stuff, I would definitely watch. How do there's a girl that goes to dollar stores and like this is how I styled it. Like I watch a lot of home stuff, like you know what I mean.
Yeah, I just watch
Close
people
stuff.
that's mad at other people and criticize folks. There was this one lady.
I watch a lot
I
of
used
that
to love
too.
watching her. There's this lady. She goes, "Everybody's so creative," and then she would show people making awful food.
Okay, let's pitch that. So then she's a host for America's Worst Cooks, and she goes into different people's homes and sees them making their recipes, and she just sits back and
All
is
right,
like,
this is our
so
second show that
creative.
we've created. Just like
Oh
they
my
had
gosh.
America's funniest home videos, we should have America's worst cooking home
America's
videos.
Worst Cook. Well, America's Worst Cooking Home Videos, and she just reviews
All right,
it.
so
That
just
could be
for
a
the
whole
record,
show.
hold on. Today is March 25th. I am in Los Angeles, and it is, well, we have a timestamp. I don't want to say exactly what time it is because I don't want people to know where I am right now.
You just
But I know
told them
what
you were in
time
Los
we recorded
Angeles.
this. I know. We're in Los Angeles since today is March 25th, and I will just say that it's sometime in the late morning, early afternoon. So if anybody comes up with that idea for America's next funniest bad cooking videos, after this, I'm suing you. I'm going to say I came up with it. You heard it on this show, and then you had to prove that
Yes.
you didn't.
And if somebody does a styling show start with Wisdom as the host judge, run me my check. Run me
I
my
know.
check.
We need to get over to Tubi and get in that TikTok creator program.
Look, sign me up. Ain't nobody
Or-
else hiring for development. Come
Or
on. I got
maybe
ideas
we
for
need to-
days.
We
I
should
got ideas
DM
for
Issa Rae.
days.
Maybe we could get on her. What's her show? that we
Picture
gotta
this.
do? What we got to do?
Picture this.
Yeah, picture this.
Picture this.
Is it drawing
Yes.
on that show? It's drawing.
I did not write the show. It didn't
I
write
can't.
it.
I
I
can't
don't
keep
know.
up, man. I'm sorry. And listen,
don't
I've met Issa once or twice. Perfectly
Yeah, she's
lovely.
great.
And yeah,
I had the pleasure of being on Insecure.
I'm trying.
which was an
I don't want
amazing
to end up on Issa
experience.
Rae's. I don't want to end up on her bad side because I'm not really.
Oh
critiquing
well,
the show.
I don't. You haven't
I
said
just
anything
didn't see the
controversial.
trailer.
Go on and watch that trailer. Yes, I had an amazing time.
Issa rolls up on me
her
when I get
show.
over in Inglewood. I heard you ain't like my shit. What's up with that?
Now
Issa Rae's
you're gonna get
Issa's a
canceled.
gangster.
now
Issa-
she's mad at
Issa's-
you. Because
Issa's a
why are
gangster.
you doing your mouth like that for Issa
That's
Rae?
Issa
What
is
are
a
you trying to
gangster.
s- I don't know. Let's move on. So now that we got this positive news out of the way,
Wait.
let's
wait,
get
wait.
into the mess.
Come on, man. You can't see Issa Rae as a thug. You can't see Issa like
I
ganging
can
up on
see
you.
Issa Rae as a thug. I can't see her doing whatever you doing right there.
I'm scaring you.
Are you?
If I was right
Stop
up on
biting your
you, I
lip like
would
that.
be.
Stop biting your lip like that. You're doing too much. You're doing a lot. Okay, a lot.
I'm acting.
Oh, so this is why you're a director.
Oh God. Oh man.
You're not an actor.
Come on, man. I could act for 3 minutes. Only 3 minutes. Like, you know.
And the Oscar doesn't go to Ali Leroy.
Viola Davis won an Oscar for 10 minutes of screen time in Doubt with a good storyline, a little bit of snot, a tear, and somebody else in danger. I could
I
win.
know you're not comparing yourself to Viola D. Davis.
I'm saying
Don't.
there's a set of circumstances under which I could be, like really impactful, but I got to get out.
All right. Well,
Soon.
you keep working on that. Speaking of actors, you can now create an actor from scratch, apparently,
Can
and
you?
own them like software. I'm talking no auditions, no contracts, no negotiations. So the goal now is not just to hire actors anymore; it is to own them. So is it just me, or can you generate a movie star now? And the reality is, the technology is not coming; it is literally already here. There are tools right now where you can literally just describe person, how they look, how they move, how they sound, and it's going to generate them a real believable human performance. You got a company called Higgsville AI. It just dropped these tools that build photorealistic actors from nothing. So no scouting. You just describe the actor, it generates them instantly, and every actor that is created is fully licensed, fully owned, and it's treated like intellectual property. So they have these models called Recast and Soulcast. So it doesn't just swap your face, it rebuilds your entire performance and matches your lighting, your skin tone, and your emotional expression. So if I can own the actor, why would I hire
That's really simple. Um, I never watched The Office, the Steve Carell version,
you never watched that
and
show?
I never watched The Office. And it wasn't for a dislike of The Office. It was that I saw the Ricky Gervais version first when it was coming out of the UK. It was only 6 episodes, and I absolutely loved it. And what they did with the American version certainly, worked out. It was longer running, and worked out
Yeah,
great. And
you should
Carell's
catch
an
it.
incredible actor,
You should catch
incredible,
it.
and all of that. But the guy that I was introduced to is the one that I was attached to. So it's just like, if it's like, which James Bond do you like? It depends on how old you are. And anything that they would create that's an alternate version of a thing that you already like is not for the people who like the original thing. It's for somebody else,
But
right?
it's not a
It ain't for, it's
recreation
like,
of a thing that's already there. It's if I'm a director and I have a certain type that I have written in the
mhm,
script, red hair, six
right.
foot, whatever. And
Yeah,
it's like you usually would have to pay a casting director to look for this particular actor
right.
that fits your vision. You don't have to do that. You can literally say what the vision is, and this actor is created out of the blue. It's not a replica of someone that already exists. It's something that you
They
have
already
formed in your mind.
Yeah, I know, but they've been doing that. Like we talked about this months ago. That there's a guy and he's making AI movies right now with entirely, digitally created spaces. So the idea that you will extract an actor from that and then place that in real context and interacting with actual actors, shit, they did that on Who's Afraid of Roger Rabbit or whatever that's called. They did with animation. That's not new. The new part is when you start getting into, and we'll talk about it in a second, but being able to create something and show it to people and having them enjoy it, that's not absurd. It's going to work. Somebody's going to do it well, and other
Yeah, just
people are
like
going to do
someone
it not
watched
so
The
well.
Office. Just because you didn't, a lot of people did.
Yeah,
And
they
and the
loved it.
difference, and the difference between, I have seen this before, right? And I know, the company you're talking about, Staircase AI, and they've created like a whole system of producing. But
Right,
we'll
right.
show the video. These look different. They don't look like AI. I would have a harder time telling that these were not human performers. And so I
Well,
understand wanting to use this if I'm doing a type of movie where there's a very specific type that's going to be difficult to find, or even if I want to create a monster or something along those lines, I can definitely see why you would go this route. And a lot of companies have already invested in this AI software, and they plan on
Right.
using it going forward.
Well, they tried it in war and they tried it in porn. So now they're moving it to mainstream. All new technology goes to the military first and then to porn. Like then they bring it to the public and
Yeah,
see.
and
Listen, if they're doing it, it's absolutely going to work. Somebody's going to get good at it. It doesn't replace whatever
the
the
actor.
experience is that
Okay.
people are looking for from actors, because even if you do a 3D digital, Tupac or a Michael Jackson, I'm not saying I won't go to Vegas to see it, but if you told me actual Michael Jackson was next door, I would not come to see 3D virtual Michael Jackson. I would go see real Michael Jackson. And if
Right.
Michael Jackson is not here anymore and the best I can do is this version of, I mean, we're talking about celebrities. And if you got an incredible idea, you're not, it's a fucking Avatar. Avatar is all digitally rendered computer characters. They're
And
just blue
clearly
and
it
tall.
works. Yeah.
It's,
And
it's
that
obvious they're
works.
already doing it. So, why can't it just be a person that looks real? Because, yes, Gurney Weaver ain't 9 feet tall and blue. She don't look like that.
Yeah, and this the
People
harsh
people
truth
say
of
this
it.
stuff like it's new.
No, but I would say what I don't think a lot of people realize, because a lot of people always think, oh well, it's not going to replace, it's not going to replace, and at this moment, no, it hasn't yet. But because people feel like, oh, as actors, there's a human connection, there's a reality that we bring as humans that AI can't. But a lot of actors don't even realize they've been trained in their replacements. They take thousands of words, faces, and expressions from actors for free. So what I've noticed since the industry's been slow, there's a lot of
Yeah,
methods out here that people are using to try to make money, right? And so they
right.
have all these VO actor uh, employment opportunities that I've been seeing on all the job boards and stuff like that. And they basically are
Yeah.
paying you hourly to record these marathon sessions of random words. I did one because I was
All
just
right, right,
curious.
right.
I was like, oh, you paying how much for a VO? I got a nice voice. Let's see. And you
Right.
go in there, and even from the interview, they just have like a picture. They want you to describe what's going on, tell it like it's a story. How do you say this
Yeah.
word? And I'm like, and they record it. And so I'm just like, I haven't even got paid yet, and you're already using my voice probably to
Right.
train some sort of AI model. So they're used to train their AI voice models. They also have people that'll sign up to do motion capture and scans where they're scanning their digital doubles. They pay them by the hour. They're using that movement to teach AI behavior, creating a digital double of your body so that they can use it later. And then the main concern that SAG has is using past performances. So you can use a past performance from all the databases on Pond databases of movies and TV shows that are out there to train AI so they can look at these performances and basically replace you without your consent. So it's like,
Well, I
okay,
mean, I think that's overreacting. Uh, all of the artists who are currently doing anything trained themselves off of the wealth of stuff that was available. They couldn't peruse every film ever made, but they still had the breadth and wealth of the experiences that they've had and the exposure to whatever art and content and films and TV and books and performances and songs. It's like that's what we do. We're receptacles for information. And then through our individual lens, we take whatever that data, information, experiences, ideas are, we turn it into something that fits, suits, and is reflective of our taste, and we put that out into the world. And whether that's a guy who's sitting at a computer and looking at it in terms of data points, or whether it's a writer, who's looking at scripts, or whether it's an actor who is looking at performances, the truth of the matter is that art is evolution. And so the idea that we pull from things, we reinvent, we reimagine, we reinterpret, we interpolate, and then we do something new. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But over the entirety of entertainment, we've always done it, and we use different tools in order to do it. Like even when we were early in like jazz music and early films, yeah, remakes and plays. It's like, oh, let's do this play again, but this time let's do it with these people. Let's do Black Jesus Christ Superstar. Let's do this version. Let's update Born, A Star Is Born. Let's do The Wizard of Oz, but let's put it in this culture. And those are spot on. But then I just saw a clip on TikTok, I think, where an anime seem to have been possibly the source material, or some source material, not all of it,
Mhm.
for the film Inception, Chris Nolan's Inception. And they're literally going frame by frame. They're showing you, here's what they did in the anime, and here's what's in his movie. Don't those look just alike? And it's like, yeah, they're pretty close. And Quentin Tarantino, has tapped into, countless, Chinese cinema films, and on and on and on. So I don't think I don't think you need to be afraid of that. What you're dealing with is middlemen. And middlemen exist because there are people who want to make money off of things, and there are people who make things that can make money. Then there's this other group of people that bridge the gap between the two. That's what this is. And this has always existed, right? We got a studio, I got an actor. How are we going to get them people with those people? Let's get a manager. Let's put him in there, and then he'll talk to these people and talk to those people, and then make a deal. Then we'll do some stuff. We'll create
So
a thing.
so you're saying that the AI company that is creating these new AI actors are serving as the middleman between the studio and then who? The
Right,
audience?
because what are they going to do? If I created an actor out of a digital space that was incredibly popular, I want to own that. And guess what I'm going to do with it? If I'm not making something with it myself, I'm going to sell that shit to Netflix and go, it's Tilly. It's like, yeah, you could use Tilly. How much you going to give
Yeah,
me?
you can license it. So if you decide, okay, I want to create a blonde 6'4" woman, Amazon, whatever, with busty,
Right,
then that's the actress you create. You
right,
license her, like you own
right,
her. You can use her in
right,
whatever movie you want to use her in.
right,
Nobody else is allowed to use her unless you license her out.
right.
That is your actor. So if that actor becomes a mega huge star, like I don't know if you've seen on social media, I see a lot of AI content creators now who
Hmm.
are like very popular, complete pages or just AI, whether they're showing their outfit, whatever, makeup tutorials, complete AI. And they have an audience and they have engagement. I don't know who's making money off of that. Somebody's behind that is not the AI person, but you would be the person that's behind that AI avatar making money from whatever they're making. And which is, why they're saying that in this AI age, that's how billionaires are going to be created. You put all this AI content out there and then you're making money off of it because you license it and you own it for wherever it is going to be placed.
Listen, my hesitation always comes in. Here's what I think what people do. People tend to imagine the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. But the reality is that those scenarios typically don't exist. What you have are the middle case scenarios, where it's a wild fucking group of variables that you can't really pin down. Because guess what? Just like you could get an incredibly popular AI character that you invented, you could audience test it and get good responses to it, clicks, views, all of that, and then you got to put it in a movie. I'll say, well, who wants to work with Digital Jane? And then you call up Michael B. Jordan. You're like, I ain't doing that shit. I ain't fucking being in a movie
Yeah,
with
but
these
how
people.
different is that going to be from when you have the live action mixed with the animation? We've been doing that for a long time. Nobody ever had an issue working with Bugs Bunny or like whoever
Right.
else,
Nobody
Space
had it.
Jam and da da da.
Nobody had an issue working with Bugs Bunny, but I think that the politics around it have changed. And so when you're creating an animated Bugs Bunny, you're not encroaching on the craft or of the job that an actual person would take. Plus, a person had to do the voice. Now the person don't have to do the voice. You can create the thing out of whole cloth. You can create all these other things around it, and there will be a lane for that. It's already in video games, right? Whatever GTA and everything else. I don't know what all the games are. The first person shooters. They're getting increasingly realistic. They've already taken the characters and built them into television shows and movies. So none of this stuff is new. And people are running around acting like the house is on fire. We're gonna lose all our jobs. And the reality is, companies, artists, middlemen are all targeting people's interests. What do you like? And so, people eat fucking fake hamburgers because they go like, I don't need 100% beef hamburger right now. I'll take this halfway meat, whatever this is. I just need a burger and I got to get out of here. What's it feel with? I don't care. Tastes all right. I'm fine. And somebody else wants the texture and the meal and the preparation. And so people want different things from the experience of engaging with whatever they're doing. So even online engagement, which is swiping or 3 minutes of short form content, that's why motherfuckers can't watch a 2 hour movie no more because their attention is broken up into 60-second chunks. Right. And
Okay.
so somebody that can keep your attention for 60 seconds is going to be tasked to do that shit over 2 hours. It's harder. It's a
All right, let
lot
me bring you
harder.
back because you're on a tent. You're going a lot of places. So you
I stay
said
on
that
tangent.
yeah, you stay on on a
I
tangent.
know.
So
I
in the
don't get
midst
on
of
a
your
tangent. I
tangent,
stay on a
you
tangent.
stay on it. In the midst of your tangent, you mentioned like, okay, if you call Michael B. Jordan, he may not, want to work with this AI actor and blah blah blah. And yeah, that may be so, but there are some actors that are working with AI actors. The whole cast of Deep as a Grave. So is it just me or is AI bringing actors from the dead? You have actor Kilmer. He is posthumously going to appear with what First Line
Posthumously.
Films called
I, yeah, I can't let you do that posthumously.
He's passed, y'all. He's
And
passed.
don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me for I love my black women and I can't have her out here.
He about to go on another tangent. Yes, posthumously.
There you go. I love it.
Going to appear with First Line Films calls a first ever performance enabled by generative artificial intelligence in the upcoming film As Deep as the Grave. So Kilmer is best known for his roles like Top Gun, The Doors, Batman Forever. And he had originally been cast, but he was unable to work at all on set because he had complications stemming from throat cancer. He was 65 when he died last year. May he rest in power. And the filmmakers say the decision to use AI technology was made with this intention of honoring the actor's deep personal connection to the role. So on one hand, you could say that's beautiful, but this man never stepped foot on set. And everyone that acted with he don't only have a 2-line role, he has a prominent role in this movie, right? So yes, these actors worked with this AI, figure, and he's one of the leads in the movie. So if you can recreate a performance, where does this actor end and the asset begins? Can
Okay,
your
well,
performance outlive you? And who owns it if it
well.
does?
So Val Kilmer, rest in peace. He's gone now.
Yeah.
And whatever this, I don't know the film that he's about to
As Deep
to
as
work
the
on,
Grave is what it's
but
called.
As Deep as the
He
Grave.
plays a priest.
And did they do some principal photography with him ever,
No, he
or they
never
never
made it
did?
on set, but his estate is behind it. So I'm
They
sure that
signed off, right?
they provided probably footage from past performances and insight on things like that. But
Yeah.
no, he never shot anything.
Well, I'm not. Listen, uh, good for them, right? I'm not sure what the relationship was, family, but I would like to believe that the family had some understanding of what his wishes were as an artist
Yeah,
and
yeah.
how his likeness might be used. So let's just say that's all in good faith. And they're like, yeah, there are people that are like this. These guys are doing this with as much integrity as circumstances allow. And okay, we're fine with it. We ain't trying to fool nobody. Everybody knows. But guess what? This is not entirely different. Here's an old one that you don't know anything about. There was a movie called Game of Death, and the movie Game of Death starred Bruce Lee. And it starred Bruce Lee. It was after Enter the Dragon, which was this incredible, incredibly successful martial arts movie. Blah 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 blah. Then Bruce Lee died, and he had some footage that they had shot for Game of Death, but they wanted to try to finish the film. And when they tried to finish the film, you got to look at it to believe it. They got another body double actor, and I don't even like the technology is so poor. It's totally laughable. He may as well have been holding a cardboard face up in front of his actual face with his lips poking through a hole doing the Bruce Lee lines because they found a way to take a face and paste it on a moving body, but the face would be floating. So again, not new. It's just that the technology has improved. And guess what? At some point, if you're an actor and you're ill, you're of a certain age, and you're going, listen, if you really like me and I sign off on it and it's for an audience that is satisfied with the nature of whatever it is they're getting, then by all means take my face and fucking put it in a movie. I don't care.
I don't
Like,
know.
why
It's weird to
wouldn't I?
me. It's weird to me because
I'm
then,
not saying it's not
okay,
weird. I'm just
well,
saying
I'm gonna tell
if
you
I'm
why.
65, why wouldn't I do it?
But the thing is, okay, is this the last? Is this his final performance? Are we doing this because he was cast and this was really his dying wish, or are we about to see 5 more Val Kilmer films
No,
after he's passed? Because
but I'm
that's
just
weird
saying
to
that
me.
these things have happened before. Eddie Murphy did the first season of the PJs, and something happened for one reason or another. He wanted to or needed to pull out, and then Phil Morris stepped in, and he was doing the voice of the guy that Eddie used to do, but it was a voice,
Yeah, but
right?
that's
And so I'm
very
just
different.
saying,
Okay, with Paul Walker passing after they
mhm,
shot most of the movie, and then they do like
right,
one scene where it's CGI,
right.
is very different from you never stepping foot on set, and we create an entire performance where you are the star. So you technically could create a whole nother movie. This could have a As Deep as the Grave 2, where you have Val Kilmer coming back yet again from the grave, as deep as So I'm just like, okay, where does it stop? Because if we're doing
It
this and you show
doesn't.
the technology, exactly. So what we about to do? We about to have a Prince versus versus, just because we can't bring them both back.
Yes,
We
yes,
about to
yes,
have like
yes, yes,
who else? We could do
yes,
a movie. Who else from the
yes,
grave? Who else we
yes,
put in a movie? Like we could put
yes,
anybody in a movie at this point,
yes,
and that's a little
yes.
scary to me.
Listen, and yes, all of that. They're going to do all of that.
Bring Sidney Poitier back. Have him in a movie with
They're going to
Denzel.
bring,
Why
yes,
not?
somebody's going to do 12 Angry Men with Sidney Poitier and Denzel Washington and Samuel L. Jackson and Delroy Lindo, right? Like, they could never get all of them in a room together, but there's a sum of money. Do you remember that film Indecent Proposal, Robert Redford and
Mm-hmm.
Demi Moore? Right?
Yeah.
Hey man, I give you $1 million. Let me have your wife for a night. What'd you say again? Babe, come here for a minute. Let me talk to you. Robert Redford said that he would love to give us $1 million on one condition. What's the condition? Well, it involves you. All I'm saying is this: I don't know what the amount of money is. I don't know what the set of circumstances are. But I do know that there's a number at which a person who was previously opposed to selling their likeness to be exploited in perpetuity, blah, 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 there's a number that they go, how much you say? When do
Yeah,
I get that?
but also
Now in cash?
what worries me also about this is acting jobs are already limited now. You a new up and coming actor, you're trying to get in the door is already this small. Now I got to
Yeah.
compete against already famous people that ain't going to ever
All right.
die because we can pull
But
them
hold
back
on.
over and over
But
again like when are you going to get a chance? Like if
but
we keep
again, you
using
got
the
to
same famous
understand.
people forever.
Right. If I'm a person who is in the business, I got a platform, I got a studio, I have some content producing entity, and I want to sell the stuff that I make. I'm here to tell you, I don't care about your career as an actor. What I care about is, can I get what I need to populate this material that we've created and turn it into something that we can show, because this is show business. And then I'm going to show it to some people and I'm going to see what I can get back from it. If you have a great acting career from it, fantastic, love it, that's good for you. If I get you in one movie and you never do anything else, man, that was an amazing movie you were in, and I don't really give a fuck if you didn't do another thing. So I'm not saying this anti actor and creator, but what you have available to you in the Issa Rae YouTube of it all. And Denzel Washington says this. The guy walked up to him and said, I want to be an actor. I got a TikTok. And Denzel goes, get on stage. He said, you learn how to act on stage. You don't learn how to act on TikTok. Right. And to whatever extent that guy took that in and believed that to be true, the reality is, yeah, go do a play, go shoot something, go be in a thing where you can make yourself available to an audience or to some kind of entity where you can figure out if you're any good at what you do or figure out how to improve on it. But by the time you get into the machinery of it all, they don't give a fuck about your career. They're trying to make this, the show must go on. They don't say the career must go on. They say the show must go on. They will fucking like, and they don't care who you are. If you're the second season of The Fresh Prince and that used to be Mama and now this is the Mama, the show must go on. If the show used to be called the Roseanne Barr Show and then they got mad at Roseanne, then they renamed that shit to Connors, the show must go on. Right?
You're on a
I'm just saying,
tangent.
like, And if they got to pay
Where
Michael B. Jordan
are we
$18
even
million
here?
to do Miami Vice, they're like, can we get this show to go? Because we have to pay this black guy $18 million. I'm not sure. The show must go on. We got to get
Okay.
somebody.
Not sure how we got here. We followed the tangent here, but I'm
I'm the
just
tangent
saying.
king, man. I'm weaving it all
Yeah,
together.
I'm just speaking for the person that I just got out of as acting school, and now I'm following my dream. And I think that there is a breakdown in communication, as we talked about in our last episode, from the person that maybe has already achieved a certain thing to the person that's still trying to get in. These are two different Hollywoods. Two different Hollywoods. And I feel
It's
like
the
you're
same
speaking.
Hollywood. It's the
It
same
feels
Hollywood. You
different.
just on a different floor. You're on a different floor. Don't follow your dream.
I
Follow your plan. Don't follow your dream. Follow your plan. Plan. Figure
I
something out.
don't
Get a script.
like that you can bring back actors from the dead. I think if you are going to do this Val Kilmer movie because he was already cast, fine. If we come back, Deep is the Great Part 2, I do not think that Val Kilmer should be in it.
But then
And
why
that's my
are we
opinion.
going? But why are we going? Michael B. Jordan should get $18 million then for doing Miami Vice if we can't bring stuff back. So whether we're bringing back a piece of
Those are
writing, whether we're
two
bringing
very
back an
different
actor's
things.
performance,
You talking about bringing back an actor from the dead consistently. If you bring him back for As Deep as the Grave 2, we can have a movie with Val Kilmer in it 10
right?
years from now. That to me is
But this is what
weird.
I'm saying. You, I say this respectfully. I think that you're in your creator space and you're your creative and actress space talking about this. From the guy that's got a right to check, I'm interested in margins. I'm interested in profitability. I'm interested in reach, right? These are the things that I care about. And so I would love to be able to put out a Michael B. Jordan movie with Miami Vice, but guess what? If I could create an AI actor that could generate as much excitement, because action movies travel as a genre all over the planet and they don't know who the guy is that I put in the movie, and then they just liked it, then I'd be like, hey, this is great. I don't need an actor.
But you
If
know
it
who
works,
else
I
was
don't need
super
it.
focused on the bottom line? Buffy the Vampire Creators. The bottom line was we got a super popular director. It's going to work, and it didn't. Sometimes focusing on the bottom line doesn't always work.
Right.
Y'all sometimes go into
Right.
that room thinking, "Oh, we got all these things in place, and it's going to good times." We thought that was going to work. It's successful IP. Sometimes
Right.
it don't. Sometimes as the audience,
Exactly.
we don't buy it, and I'm not buying
Right.
you bringing Val Kilmer back for 5 more movies. Period. Point blank.
Right. Yeah, I know. It is weird.
And
I'm just
somebody
saying
got
that
to
it's
speak
gonna,
for the little guy. Like somebody has
it's
to.
gonna work.
Because it's just
It's
like
gonna
you
work.
got too many people knocking on the door in Hollywood, especially in this culture of Hollywood right now. And somebody has to speak to that person that's watching that podcast right now. That's just like, okay, so what about me? And it can't just be like, well,
I'm
fuck
never
you.
going to, in my 10 toes down of it all, and I say this. I say this with all respect and granting all of the grace that you can. But as artists, we sleep on floors. We go long stretches without the work that we want. We do jobs that we need to do to make ends meet while we explore ways to, to see if we can make the things that we think about into something real. And can we make that a foundation or a platform? And all I'm saying again is that as much as we would like for someone to help us to pave a way, and when we see these points of light along the way, and somebody creates a platform, or Tubi comes up with a deal, or somebody opens a studio, whatever these things are, those are wonderful things, and we love it when that happens. But the reason why it's notable when it occurs is because it's unusual. Those are not the ways that they conduct most of the business, with a concern or with an outreach to people who need help. I always say it like this: show business don't want to help you. Show business wants you to help them. They want you to deliver a performance that they can monetize. They want you to write a script that they can make a movie out of. They want you to direct a film that they can sell to a lot of people. They don't give a fuck about what you want to do. They give a fuck about what you want to do to the extent that it fits in the cup that they're trying to fill. And if it don't fit in the cup that they're trying to fill, then they're not particularly interested in it. And what we learned from Chloe Zhao and Batgirl, which they did a year ago, And even with Sinners, not Sinners, but whether with Miami Vice and Michael B. Jordan, is they got plenty of money available. They made Avatar. They made three of them. They're really expensive. They can spend money on what they want to spend money on. But then they make these decisions based on some data, based on some taste, based on relationships about what they want to spend money on and why, and where they're willing to take a risk, who they're willing to take it with, why, what do they want to get back from it. And even in the case of a relationship goals, where somebody's looking at a film going, we don't like this movie because X, Y, Z, yeah, that's not why we made it. We didn't make it so that you could like it for your filmic cinematic reasons. That's not what we're doing. We're doing something else. And so I'm just saying that this conversation that we're having passionately as artists and wanting to have, some kind of pathway, laid or at least maintained. People have blazed the trail. Can we at least stay on the road they gave us? And somebody blows up the fucking bridge like Bridge over the River Kwai and goes, no, go another way. This way's done. Figure out something else. And if you can't, I guess you're just gonna be stranded on that island like Tom Hanks in whatever that movie with the boat and Wilson. Some
Castaway.
Castaway.
Yeah, so
Gotta find a way. That motherfucker made a raft out of some palms and shit. He like, I gotta get out of here.
Here he is. Another tangent.
Yeah, we're all Tom Hanks and we're all on an island with a ball and we gotta figure out how the fuck to get out of here. And sometimes you gotta build a raft out of some tree parts and hope a ship finds you.
Okay. Once again, I don't know how we got here. No clue how we got here.
Well, welcome to my mind.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to see me act? You want to see me act some more?
No. But when we're talking about acting, when we look at the landscape of this industry, Hollywood is being outbid. More so being outbid, it's being bypassed. And, we saw the Oscars, we did our live stream. Not a single one of the nominated movies was produced in Hollywood. Outside of One Battle, which just has some locations in California, but it wasn't Hollywood. It was San Diego and Sacramento. So that was concerning because, usually we're used to Hollywood being the hub for filmmaking. So Mayor Karen Bass was concerned about that. So she's cutting filming costs to bring productions back to LA. So our table read for this week, the script is titled Hollywood at a Discount. So some of the changes, in addition to the other changes that we discussed a couple weeks ago, there's going to be some major fee reductions for places like the Griffith Observatory. About a 70% drop. You had to pay $100,000, I think, before for the fee to use it. Now it's $30,000. They had the LA Central Library reopen for filming after 10 years of not being used. They have reduced some on-site city staff, sometimes down to just one person. You used to have a certain amount of city staff that was available if you're using any of these locations. Now you just need one person there. Faster permits and less red tape. They've cut the time it takes to review filming applications to only 4 days now, as opposed to the weeks it used to take. And then they are doing this new incentive where it's free permits for small shoots through Film LA, the city's film permitting partner. They developed a tiered permitting fee structure for these low impact productions. So when we say low budget, we're thinking indie films, things like that. Free permits now. And then $1 fees for select locations and parkings and things like that. So certain places, they're cutting those fees down to $1 because they really, really, really want people to be shooting stuff in Hollywood. So if LA has to discount itself out this aggressively, what does that say? I mean, clearly, we've seen these lots as ghost towns. Does this cheaper production actually solve this problem? Or is this just, Band-Aid on a gushing wound at this point?
It's a Band-Aid.
No, why? Why?
Well, because the problem with ever rising costs in production have to do with a level of inefficiency, right? And ideas around profitability. So it like if you make a $90 million Batgirl movie, and for whatever reasons, after you spend all of the $90 million, you then say, we're not going to put this movie out. We're not going to put this movie out because of something that we figured out during or after, and now you're just out of $90 million, and maybe they'll wait a few years and then they'll sell it off and somebody will be able to put it up on some platform somewhere, or maybe they'll just can it because we never want this, like they used to go into purse factories and cut up bags that they didn't want on the market, right? We don't
Mhm.
want people to be able to buy this. um, the inefficiency in production, from the suites where there are, you know, golden parachutes for people who are leaving the company, and all sorts of insider trading deals about who's getting paid what amount of money for overseeing whatever sorts of productions that they're overseeing, plus the inefficiency at the production level itself, bad scheduling, you know, circumstances where people are, you know, spending exorbitant amounts of money, reshoots, all of these things. And the money that's being spent is partially because what originated as a contained way of production, studios. We used to make television and movies at studios. We shot most of the stuff at the studio. We built a backlot that looked like other places. Then we would go outside and we would shoot at the studio. Then sometimes we would leave and we would catch a little bit of something, this place, that place. Let's get a shot downtown. But we weren't stopping traffic, you know, whatever. My man, Damien Chazelle, when they did La La Land,
Mhm.
the big highway shot and dancing. It's like, oh, we got to shut down traffic and put 900 cars on the thing. It's like, or how about we just bring some people inside a room and put them on a stage and let them dance there? Because that's really
Mhm.
what's important. Nah, but with AI and the right angles and a little space, they're going to be able to do that again. So what I imagine is, as technology improves, you know, from actors to backdrops to filling in, you know, body doubles and extras and all these things. Right now, car process trailers are nearly a thing of the past. They take your car, they put it on a soundstage in the studio, they wrap a screen around it, you can drive wherever you want to. And most people aren't complaining about the coverage, you know, unless you want to be PTA and you want to shoot this incredibly well filmed car chase pinnacle sequence to your movie. So, yes, these things help, but it's not going to change the culture of expenditure, how they spend money, why they spend money. You
Yeah.
used to have to earn your paycheck. Now you're getting 20 million up front. Like, I'm not saying Michael B. Jordan shouldn't get 18. I'm not saying Scarlett Johansson shouldn't get 20. I'm just saying you didn't used to get that until you were the success, and then you bet on the success. Pay me this up front and then give me part of the profit. But the studios don't want to share the
Right.
profit.
And
They'd
these
rather pay
key
you 20.
changes, they rather pay you 20 than what?
No, I'm just saying that studios would rather pay you 20 up front and get you out of the way, right? You got 20, shut
Right.
up. Because if
Okay,
it
so
makes
these,
500 million, we don't want to give you another 80. So we'll give you 20
so we're
now,
not giving
as
anything
opposed
on
to a
the
guy
back
that
end.
goes, no, don't give me 20 now, give me five. But if this shit makes 500 million, I want 80.
Right. But back to the changes, the reductions. These changes, it's not really doing much. Any production that I've worked on, they're not talking about, oh, the permits and stuff like that. Sure, that's all well and nice for like a young filmmaker that now doesn't have to pay however much money for a permit. But they're talking, the main issues why they're not staying in LA is the tax incentives are not there. When you're comparing it to Canada, UK, Ireland, Atlanta, any other place, the tax incentives, until you change the tax incentives and give me some incentive for bringing my production there that I can get money back for bringing my production there, I don't have any reason to bring it there. If I don't have a plan to shoot at the Griffith Observatory or the LA Central Library, then so what does this necessarily do for me? So it's just like pomp and circumstance, but it's really not solving the issue. So if you really want to bring people back to Hollywood, you need to look at them tax incentives and try to make it as competitive as maybe a shooting in Atlanta is. Because why are people going there? Because they're saving their production money. If I'm a line producer, I'm thinking about what is going to be the biggest investment for this because I want to use those funds for something else. Used up and stuff. So I'm not seeing anyone talking about shifting on that front, which is why I do not think there's going to be any change just with the changes. Now, it's nice that you were thinking about shooting at the LA Central Library. Now it's reopened. Good. Or the Griffin now is less money, but I don't see this major shift that they're
But
trying. to
my,
say
my
it.
the idea about wanting to that thing where in the past you might have done some exteriors, right? We're going to pull up, we're going to and then back to the studio because we got sounds and we have people who we pay incredible sums of money to be worlds. And so the whole proposition of needing to get incentives so I can leave the place that I built where I can do the I want to go to someplace else and not build it and pay another set of money, right? I'm just saying that the way that these expenditures are made, the business right now is in a
Mhm.
place where it really does to have it's more like a gut check around what you genuinely think is important. And again, it's top heavy. There's a lot of money going out the door. Like I said, I mean, we're making fun with the Martin Scorsese Kool-Aid movie, but to
Mhm.
say 200 million right off the bat, and it's like we're joking, but they're making that joke because they know that shit's real, right? And so you can make this expenditure, you can make this idea, you can go, we're gonna put the movie out there, and it's gonna be this. It's going to be not we're putting it together, and as we assemble it we get a sense of what we want to do, or we know that this is a great script and we're watching the production, and we have producers who work at our studio who are real film aficionados and are experienced around not just storytelling to understand what's necessary to make a good movie, but also around the people part of it. How do you keep these people happy? When are we making
Yeah,
the wrong
and
expenditures?
and
The
I
political
get all of
part.
that, but there are films that the point of this is there's filming that's happening other places. Yes, we can utilize AI and all these different things, and we don't
Right.
necessarily need to shoot things in person. But the filming is happening in other places. The filming is
Yeah.
not happening in LA, so it's not a matter of whether the filming is going to be happening, because it's not going to be so. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we don't have to film in person or film on certain locations anymore, but the filming is happening. We can go to Vancouver and make it look like New York because there's a
Right.
tax incentive benefit to hiring Canadian actors and making sure there's Canadian crew, and I'm getting money back from that government to utilize for my. So there's a benefit for me. LA does not have that in place, which is why there's no benefit outside of the fact that my main actress may live in LA and she may prefer to be at home at night. But we are
I
so
think it's
used to
I
at
think it's
this point
greed.
traveling for whatever production we have to travel. Most actors I know, they're in Greenland, they're wherever, they're wherever you got to shoot,
Hmm?
because they're not going to be shooting in LA unless it is very specific to LA. So I was disappointed that there weren't more changes, because it's like if you actually want the filming to come back to LA, you need to be serious about it.
Well,
And
I'll,
this is
I'll, I'll
not.
put it to you like this, and I have to be very careful how I say this, but this is what came to mind. L.A. is like a 40-year-old hot girl at the club, right?
40.
Yeah, when you were 20, you was really the shit, right? But and it's not that you don't still look amazing. And it's not that you aren't still capable of doing, a lot of things you were capable of doing at 20 and possibly even more. But the reality is that the people and the circumstances that were important to you, the people that gravitated to you, the circumstances where you had weight or where you had leverage, those aged along with you, right? And then you look up one day and the hot club is now over there. Right. And it's not that you still don't have an audience. It's not that you can't still do business. It's not that you aren't still attractive and aren't viable. It's just that there's another group of people. There's another, a cohort, as you like to say, that has come up someplace else. Right. And so now they're doing business over there. That business is never coming back. Right? Atlanta ain't going away. North Carolina ain't going away. New Mexico ain't going away. Chicago ain't going away.
Louisiana,
New York,
yeah.
they ain't going. They all because they all got their shit now, right?
Hmm.
And you remember when Disney and that whole Orlando thing, and they had Nickelodeon and all the kids shows, and that shit was amazing for a minute, right? For a minute, and then time goes by and something else happens. And so Los Angeles and the Hollywood system and the way that they do business, tax credits aside, it's like, yeah, you gotta start thinking about how you're gonna get people to come, and how do you get some new blood. You might have to cut your prices. You might have to do loss leadership when you're at, and I know I'd be all over the place. I know you don't like that, but yeah, Best Buy sells cheap one thing. They sell cheap appliances so they can get you in to buy something else. And I'm just saying that in the world of the studios, if you make my soundstage more attractive, then you might get the big movie,
You
right? You might
might,
get the
yeah.
big star, right? And or you might get the young star who is incredible but can't afford them fucking prices,
Like,
right?
okay, Radford Studios, didn't Radford Studios just close and stuff like that? You got
They're
studios that are
getting sold
closing.
or something. I think they're gonna turn it into a salon
That's
republic or
what I
something.
said. So, it's like I'm like, what, okay, it's like what you gonna do with all this? But I rebuke. We are still fine at 40. So I don't know what you talking
Oh
about.
no, no, no! I'm not. Listen, first of
Especially
all,
if you
I'm just saying.
black.
No, no, no. I'm talking about like you know at a point in time that you're not the target audience anymore. It's not a matter of viability.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the belief is you have who you're going to have, right? And there's a new group of people, there's a new set of creators, there's a new set of business people. And they've been shooting in South Carolina. They've been shooting in Detroit. And so they have a sense, they're like, oh, why I got to come over there? I can do everything I need to do someplace else for half the money. And
For
it's
half
going to
the
go on the
money.
same platform. I'm going to be on the same Hulu that you're
And
on.
you're not going to be able to tell this ain't New York, even though it's in Vancouver. You're not. No one's going to care.
Guess
It
what?
doesn't need to
Even
authentically be
if I
happening there.
can, it depends on what
No
the
one's
piece
going
is.
to
I
care.
just,
No one's going to
I know
care.
we'll talk about what we watching in a minute because I got a movie that I was looking at that kind of speaks to
Yeah, I
this.
mean, so that's
But
set for
yeah,
the table read, but like, overall, if they actually want to see a change, like you're saying, there has to be a major shift, not just these little, things that they're doing. Otherwise, you're going to see these studios going back to the lenders like they would, like we have with Radford, and then we've turned into a
well,
mini mart or something or
you
whatever.
have the whatchamacallit, you have the vertical integration also, because another thing is that you have corporations now that are double dipping, right? It's like I'm Disney, and and I own or I have interest in ABC and Fox for whatever reasons, right? And so now I have a show that's airing on the ABC network and it's shooting at the Disney studios, but I'm charging the people like I'm not the person that's going to put their show on. It's like, yeah, you're shooting at my house, but I'm gonna charge you for shooting at my house, and then I'm actually gonna own the content, and then I'm gonna air it. But so I'm taking money from you while you create something for me, right? Like that's an odd sort of business construct, right? Pay me while you make something for me. Wait, what? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a restaurant. When you come in, you sit down at the table while y'all waiting, making the meal. Give us some money, and then give us some more money when we bring it out and give it back to you. What? Wait, what?
Yeah. What? So what are your what's going on with your Ollie's action pack for this week? You got any advice for these young creators trying to navigate Hollywood because they
No.
need a strategy? You don't?
I don't know what's
You're
going on.
on your
I will
own.
say,
You're on your own
I
this
don't,
week.
no. Uh, yeah, I mean, we talk about this a lot, but in the specifically like for the Tubi thing, right? I still think that one of the most important things that young creators can do is treat their platforms like treat them like college radio, right? Just whatever you used to listen to. It's like because whatever's coming up is always functioning or in a place where the mainstream hadn't quite gotten to it yet. So yeah, if you're a TikTok creator, instead of just random getting on there talking about a whole bunch of shit, be specific. Do something that you can, replicate and that we can see that, oh, this person or these people doing this subject matter specifically is something that we know how to market. That's something we know how to sell. And so if you create with that in mind, singular ideas, singular focus, something that creates a library of work that shows that you can consistently deliver on a promise for TikTok and whatever of a platform we start talking about IP and ownership, that's going to make the efforts that you're putting into your work a lot more valuable. If we can show that you can consistently create a thing that people respond to positively, that's a big plus. Um, Listen, man, on this acting thing, you know, different people are going to have different choices to make, and And one of the realities of you being an actor in the real world is, if you want to base your career around the connection with people, then you have to go and be and do things that push that. So if you want to be a screen actor and you want to be hired by studios, then in the Denzel Washington of it all, yes, go do a play, go do something material, go do something real, go do something written, and show that you are interesting or compelling. Can't speak for everybody else, right? How do people like me? Who likes me? What do I do? And make that something of record, because I'm sure you may end up selling your voice. You may end up allowing somebody to license your face. You cannot tell me that if somebody looked at the 10 pieces of this or the bits of content that you were in and came and said, hey, Lisa, we was looking at your stuff. And I know you said you want to act, but what do you think about this? What if we licensed you? Because as it turns out, you are incredibly attractive in Bulgaria and across blocks of Eastern Europe. We don't know why. They love you there. Can we use your face and put that on this? But what we're going to require is that you don't be in other shit elsewhere. We can't have you running around acting, because you're going to fuck up digital you. So what type of money can we get you to go sit down, provide us some voice, provide us some body movements, give us the best
That would
version of
have to be
Alicia
a
that we could get?
lot of money. That would have to be a lot of money. A lot of money, because that is literally you are. That would have to be a lot of money.
It have to be a lot of money to you. It don't have to be a lot of money to them.
And I don't even have a number for you of what that would be, because that would be something that I would not want to do.
Right now, today, if I could write a check and say, Alicia, 25 million, take it or leave it. You got 36 seconds.
I don't feel like that's a lot of money.
26 seconds.
For my whole essence, I can no longer
to act. We're gonna take you got 16 seconds. We're gonna take your face and your body. We're gonna put it in movies. It's gonna be really popular. We have determined people love you there. We already know they like you.
So why not just have me go to Bulgaria?
6 seconds, because we can make a lot more money with you not being tired. We can just create you. And I'm sorry, Alicia, we're gonna move on.
Okay, well then go and move on. And that's the thing with these AI actors. They don't get tired. They don't get tired. They don't have conflicts.
They ain't
and
tired,
that
they
is
ain't
why
late. They don't need a
they
trailer.
They don't have drug issues.
They ain't mad. They ain't upset about going on a promotional tour. They do all that. They create an AI
will
interviewer.
We connect with them? That's the thing. Will we connect with them? Like half of what
You
makes
like
a
Avatar?
famous person. I don't feel connected to the blue people. I didn't watch this most recent one. I didn't watch this most recent one.
You watched one before?
I mean, I'll catch it when I catch it, but I'm not like an Avatar stan. I'm not like oh my God, Zoe Saldana. Like no, no. I'm not.
Don't nobody know that's Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, they do. And the thing is, we are connected probably more so to the fact that that's Zoe Saldana, because they made that thing that blue. This Zoe Saldana but blue. You know what I mean? They made it look like her. And so for us, what connects us to the actor and the character? Yes, the character becomes bigger than life, but it's the actual person that we can feel in touch. So you mean that this, whenever I want to go see this, my favorite action star, I got to pull up on the screen and watch him?
You know what? No, it should be like boxing. Do you know why boxers make so much money? Right? Because they don't fight a lot.
They're overpaid.
Like I'm gonna fight one time this year, because in those fucking 15 rounds, it's going to be so grueling that I'm not going to be able to do it for another year. So we get a bunch of people in a building, we put that shit on a whole bunch of screens, and then tonight you're gonna make $100 million, and then you're not gonna do this again for another year. I'm just saying that there's always some sort of price that's put on what it takes to create the bit of entertainment. Boxing is show business. Video games is show business. Podcasts is show business. Making somebody's AI face or background, replacing, and I think that it's important for all of us to understand where and how we fit into the business, and not be up in arms about the ways in which people who have other interests are exploiting what they see as gaps in the system.
No, I get that. So why don't we ask?
I'm just saying, if you show up in a room, the thing about boxing is that I have to show up in the room, right? They want to see me. And so when I show up,
AI boxers at some point. I'm
no,
pretty
but
sure
you put on silver boots.
Everything.
Ain't you put on silver boots and went to see Beyonce? You got some.
Who
What you put
didn't
on?
put on silver boots to go see Beyonce?
Right, right. Because I'm gonna be there, and that's what they want to see her. They don't want to see digital her. They don't want to see AI her. They want to see her. And
Yeah.
so whatever. Now the music becomes the loss leader. I'm putting out an album not so I can sell a million albums. I'm spending a million, 10 million, $15 million on an album so I can get you to come see the show, right? And the show is where I'm gonna make my money, right? Because now I'm just dealing with a promoter, I'm dealing with asses in the seats, and however much it takes to drive this thing around, but I'm in control of it. It's not now. We got to check in our marketing department and see who else is going out that week. We got to see
Yeah,
what
but then
venues.
that
We got to see.
contradicts your point, because if the point is these AI actors are going to be, if they take this AI figure and she's in Bulgaria, then how are you going to utilize the fact that people are coming to see if this person doesn't
Well,
physically exist?
I'm just saying because people make choices, right? I go to see live jazz music. There's perfectly capable stuff on, if I wanted to listen to it on Spotify, I
But
could.
it's
But I
not the
love seeing live
same. Yeah,
performance.
you can see it. Yeah, you can listen to it, but going to see a live performance is very different from listening to Spotify. So yes, I do think there's going to be lanes for everything. If for you, your lane is going to see AI performances, cool. For someone, it is going to be going to that physical performance and seeing someone real. I would love to know. Put in the comments if you taking that 25 million. Send it to Ask in the Room Pod. If you taking that 25 million for them to license your whole license in your face, you got to give up what you dreamed acting. You can never do it again, and they gonna take you. You're gonna be famous in some other country and complete unknown in the United States. Let us know
No,
if
we
you
ain't
taking that
saying. I
25
mean, we ain't
million.
saying you can't do nothing. We just saying that you're not going to need, and not
You don't
that,
own
not that you
yourself
can't.
anymore. You don't own your
Well, you
license.
you
What if
don't.
they
Right,
decide to make me a porn star over there in Bulgaria?
right.
I can't do nothing about
It's gonna.
that.
It'll be
No.
like the artist. It'll be the artist formerly known as Lakeith Stanfield, right? So he'll go. I'm not Lakeith Stanfield. That's they bought that. My name is Stanley Lakeith, and I do this other thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
Y'all
just
let us
saying.
know if you're taking that 25 million, because I don't know if
Listen,
I'm taking that
I'm
25
I'm
million.
I'm joking, but all I'm saying is a lot of times we get shocked and surprised, and we get reactionary around these technological developments and the ways that they're exploited. But I'll say it and say it again: they're just updated versions of things that have already happened. And so when we're trying to be in this business, we have to understand where we are in this business, not have a dream, have a plan, figure out what it is you're trying to accomplish and where your worth actually exists, right? Because it may not be as an actor. You might want it to be as an actor, but that might not be where it is. It might be as a writer, it might be as a director, it might be as a middleman. I don't know. But I mean, you just got to stress test your own ideas and operate in an understanding of what you're trying to accomplish and how you genuinely expect to accomplish it without believing that there are any entities, organization, people, or policies that are going to make that easier for you. They might
Okay.
not, but it ain't their dream, it's yours. So what you gonna
Okay.
do about it?
Ali's action pack. Give up your dreams and sell yourself to Bulgaria. You heard it for here first. Okay, what are we watching? What are we watching?
What am I watching? I watch Relay. Speaking of tax credits, do you know Riz? I think I want to pronounce his name right. It looks like Riz Ahmed, but it may be Riz Ahmed. Um, he was in that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal about the guys that drove around at night and got video footage. Did you see that show? That movie?
No, I did not.
Oh, come on. You don't be
Relay.
seeing nothing. Plus, he was in a movie where he played a drummer and he was deaf.
What is the name of the movie? You said the
The
movie
one with
where he
Jake.
drove around with with
Uh,
Jake Gyllenhaal.
yeah, put in Riz Riz and Jake Gyllenhaal,
Okay.
and then you'll see the movie.
Um, are you talking because there's a couple? He did Nightcrawler with him. He did the sister's brother
Nightcrawler.
with
That's the one. It was
him.
amazing. Nightcrawler.
Okay.
That was the first time I saw him that I remember. And then he was in another movie where he played a deaf drummer. He was losing his hearing. Uh, and oh, you know what else he was in? He was in The Night of. Didn't you watch that, John Turturro,
Yeah.
where he was accused of
Mm-hmm.
killing that girl? So I like him.
That was the
I
Sound
like
of
him a lot.
Metal. That was when he
Yeah,
played the
Sound
deaf
of Metal. That was
drummer.
good.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in this
Okay.
movie that I just saw on Netflix called Relay.
So now he's in
Uh,
Relay. Okay, what you
he's in
like about
Relay,
it?
and It was actually like a cool little thriller. He plays a guy that helps people who are whistleblowers.
I saw this.
Kind
Oh,
of.
this is a good one. Yes, yes,
You saw
yes.
it
I saw this. Yes,
where
this is
he
a
was
good one.
trying to help the girl, and then it turned out it was a whole thing
And
at the end.
it was a whole thing.
Yeah,
at the
yeah, yeah,
end.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
With the
So,
whole relay.
all right.
Yes, I saw this.
Right. So here's the thing. I actually thought it was a really clever, like I thought it was a really clever conceit. I thought it was interesting. It was contemporary because it was dealing with whistleblowers and when you get too deep and how do you get out of the mess and that whole thing. And that was
He was
cool.
all good
It was.
until he started liking that lady. He was
I
all
know.
good
It's
until he
that.
started liking her.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's every guy's story. I was good until I started liking that lady.
yep.
But here's the best part. It was shot in and around New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Whole thing in and around New Jersey, exteriors. I've lived in New Jersey. It's like, yeah, that's New Jersey. All right. Grimy, ugly. But they had tax credits. They
Shout out
wrote
to
a
New Jersey.
contained film.
Right.
It was a lot of shit that was inside rooms. And to the extent that they could go out and shoot in some of these locations and they got production value. But all of the parties involved understanding go in going, okay, how everybody's interested in making the movie. They like the script, they like the actors, they like the director, they're monetarily looking at the location. So I love all of that. And on top of that, they made a good movie.
It was a good movie.
It can be done. And it's not like, I don't even want to talk about it in terms of it being the best movie. I'm just saying that it was a really competent, enjoyable film, good
It was a
acting,
good
solid writing.
story. Yeah.
There were some things that were extracted from other films. You remember the part where the guy goes, I don't know, something like we're not following him, he's following us. Do you remember that moment they had, uh, where the guys go like, "We've been made," they know us. There's Sam
Oh
Worthington.
yeah.
You know where they
The
got
guys
that
that were
from? They got that
following
from
him.
Heat. But they got
Okay.
that from Heat. Like literally, that's a scene that's in the film Heat. And all I'm saying in the AI extraction of it all is that that's what we do. We look at things, we pay homage. That's what they used to call it. And now it's just turned into another thing. But that was a fun film. I really enjoyed it. I actually thought it had a clever twist, and
Yeah.
I liked it.
I didn't see
No
the
shade
ending
to.
coming. I didn't see
Oh,
it
yeah,
coming.
I didn't see the ending
Well,
coming, and I thought I was like, oh
figured.
shit.
Well, I figured it was dangerous because he was very specific in how he did things. He used the relay services, so he can't be traced,
Right.
and he had a very
Right.
careful way he went about things. And in the minute he started liking this girl, he started like there was so many times where he messed up the whole scene where they were in the with the newspaper stand, and it's just like she's messing up. And so at some point, I'm just like, you just think ditzy girl, right? You're thinking this ditzy
Right,
girl, like, but
Right.
she was really super calculated through the whole thing, and he's just falling for it and just becoming a little too vulnerable with her, and it all messed him up in the end, as we could see. I just thought
Yeah.
it was a very, very cool, and I loved how the ending went and how he was able to like, come over in the end. Definitely go check it out. It is on Netflix. Yeah,
Relay, yeah,
it's
Relay on Netflix with Riz Ahmed and some other people, and Sam Worthington and two girls and another guy.
Yes.
Sam Worthington is in Avatar.
I have to catch Avatar. So say Sam Worthington, Lily James.
But
You got,
hey, but you're not gonna recognize him because when he gets on the planet, he's a blue guy.
because he's blue. Yeah, I do need to catch Avatar. I just need time.
You come
Avatar's
in the
like
middle.
15 hours
Then
long.
this is what I'm saying. If you came in the middle of Avatar, you wouldn't have any idea whether that was AI Sam Worthington or real Sam Worthington. Real Sam Worthington was shooting.
It
Relay.
looks like Sam Worthington. They make the avatars look like the real people. Like they're just
James Cameron had Sam Worthington on a Zoom recording dialogue. And then Sam's like, listen, James, I got to get back to set. Riz and them waiting on me. We're in New Jersey. We're shooting a real movie on the ground. And then James Cameron's like, we're shooting our movie under the sea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some Avatar
I built
fans
the
are going to
studio.
be mad at you for that one. I've been diving into Paradise season 2, which it feels like The Walking Dead without the zombies. They're out of and you haven't seen Paradise yet, right?
So there's dead people?
You need to watch Paradise. I told you this already.
Do I?
Yes,
I know,
I think you would actually like it. You never take any of my suggestions.
No. Here, all right. Here's the thing, and this is unfair because you actually know what my workload is. So I'm not just
Yes.
not watching things. It's that a lot of times I get to the end of the day, and between researching things and working and writing, all I could look at the end of the day is a lady on TikTok going, "Everybody's so creative," and then she makes fun of people cooking bad food, and that's all I can take. That her and, and chef reaction guy like him, and then there's a girl I love, and she does Am I the Asshole? She got a little bonnet on, a little black girl. She's the best one. I see a bunch of Am I the Assholes, but this little black girl, and she's like in front of a purple wall.
I
I
haven't seen,
love her. She's fantastic. She does the
but
best Am I the Asshole?
okay, so Paradise, we're on
Paradise.
season 2 now, so I don't want to spoil it for you, but everyone else that I'm sure is watching Paradise knows it's a great show. Season 2 is very different from season 1 because now we have Sterling K. Brown's character. He is on search for his wife that he's found out has been alive this whole time, and it's been this whole conspiracy to keep it from him. So now he's out finding her, and I don't know how he's going to find his wife in this post-apocalyptic world. But now we get all of that sort of tie in there. And it's really cool and it's really different. So I'm working my way through season 2. And another thing I've dived back into is, have you ever see Yellow Jackets on Showtime?
I started watching it. I started I think I watched an episode and a half. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
interesting. And then I was busy.
It
I've been
is
busy
interesting,
ever
but I had to take breaks from it because the can is cannibalistic. It could be a little demonic. Sometimes I be needing to take
they're
breaks
kind
from
of
stuff
cruel
like
on that
that.
show, right? It's a
Oh
dangerous
yeah,
women, right?
they're eating each other. Okay, so yeah, I need to take a second sometimes. So I'm working my way, dive back into that. I'm working my way back through there. I have a friend on that show. Shout out to Nia. She's doing a great job. And so yes, so
I
that's
got a friend
basically
on
what
that
I was
show
watching
too.
this week.
You ain't the
Who's
only
your
one
friend
with
on
a
the
friend
show?
on.
Who's your friend on that show?
Jeff Bird. Jeff Bird. He's not an actor. He's behind the scenes. He's the director.
Okay. Oh, shout out to Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff Bird and Yellow Jackets. You ain't the only one that got friends. I got friends.
Oh, well, we all got friends in the show. But yeah, so I mean, I would have said I would have checked out is Relay, but I've seen it already. But I do think people should go watch it. And I do think you should make some time to watch Paradise. Started season 1, so we can actually
Listen,
talk
I
about
will.
it.
I know, I will.
He won't.
It took Breaking Bad had been off for years before I watched the entire 5 seasons in a weekend. Because I can get really obsessive. There was a British show called Riches, I think, with this black girl. What is her name? She was on Them. Deborah Allende. You know this woman?
I know who you're
You
talking
know what I'm
about,
talking about?
but
Yeah,
I mess up names, so I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, she was the black girl lead on Them, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
had a show in the UK called, I think it was called Riches, about these two
Yeah.
black families, going back and forth with each other. And that was another show. It was like, I don't know, 8 episodes, 10 episodes. I binge. Like I'll wake up at 8 in the morning and then I'll start watching, and money, it'd be 11, 12. I'd be like, I'm talking about midnight. I'd be like, ooh, that was good. But I kind of
When
feel
you
like,
get a moment,
sit down.
check it out. Sit down and check it
All right.
out. But yeah, so that's everything for this week. So I mean, I know you got a lot going on with your opening, so we do hope it is going to be a success and that people can catch it at LACP all the way until May. It's running till May.
June.
Till
Everybody
June.
hates exhibitions at the Los Angeles Center of. Everybody hates exhibitions at the Los Angeles Center of Photography.
Yes.
My exhibition with my work from photographs that I shot while I was at my time at Everybody Hates Chris. We're running until June, early June, first week of June.
Okay, love that.
So stop by, and I might be there sometimes. I go over there. I'm over there. Who all gonna be there?
All right, let's get out of here, y'all.
All right. I got tangents to get on.
Yes, with somebody else.